Welcome to another Numismatic Notes of Benjamin. I'm Benjamin, and today's theme is going to be banknotes that have older banknote designs on them. So, believe it or not, I have a number of notes like that. I have a number of notes that have coins on them as well, but this is strictly going to be banknotes that appear on banknotes. And to start it out, we're going to look at this 25 taka from Bangladesh. And this is about the time Bangladesh started developing their skill at doing their banknotes in-house. And so it's one of their earlier attempts. And so while it does kind of look cheap and it definitely looks more lithographic than engraved, they have been improving every time they issue a new commemorative. But here on this banknote, we have earlier banknotes of Bangladesh that appear. We have this one here, we have this one here, and we have that one there. And I think I have most of those banknotes. If I was going to exhibit sometime on this note, I would have this note and I would have all of the earlier notes. They even have a specimen banknote that they've included here as one of the banknotes that are appearing on this banknote. So, kind of interesting. And have you thought about the fact that you might have banknotes that have other banknotes on them? This banknote commemorated the 25th anniversary of the Security Printing Corporation of Bangladesh. And so, I don't know, I think it's kind of neat when they're trying to go in-house, but they certainly have a learning curve they need to take care of. This is a 50 yuan from Taiwan, or a new Taiwan dollar. And we have a couple of earlier Chinese, maybe even Taiwanese banknotes that appear here. Looks like we have some coins over here as well. This is one of the first polymers of Taiwan. And over here we have the Central Bank of Taiwan. And we have a train. So, I mean, it's kind of it's a beautiful note, but its inclusion is because of the banknotes on the front. Now we're going to take a look at a Ukrainian 100 hryvnia, or I think it's a hryvnia. Hryvnia. But anyway, this banknote, I'm still not sure if it's really a banknote or if it's just a numismatic product. There are going to be those that argue what it is or not. But what it is a duplication of a much earlier banknote of Ukraine. So they may be acknowledging or getting the world to acknowledge that they've been around for a while, not just since the collapse of the Soviet Union. But this is 100, and you have a classic design on the front and the back. The end designs were not a part of the original design. This would have been the original design, and this would have been the original design. And I think that if I was to exhibit this, I would want to get a copy of the older banknote just for the joy of exhibiting it together. This banknote was unusual. It came out a few years ago, and it came out as it was given a PIC number, and it came from Gibraltar, and the government honored it as a 50 pence, I believe, whenever it came out. But it duplicates a design that was used a long time ago in Gibraltar. You know, they use pence and pounds now. They don't even use shillings, but that's what the original banknote was designed for. And here it says it's a currency note, legal tender in Gibraltar for the payment of any amount. And on this side, it shows them celebrating World Tourism in 2018. And then here at the bottom, we have a legend that says, this banknote can be redeemed in Gibraltar in the year 2018 for 50 pence. So they did use this as a 50 pence banknote in Gibraltar, but only in the year 2018. This note no longer has legal tender, but it duplicates a classic banknote design from Gibraltar. We're going to move to a Jersey pound. And this banknote celebrates the 50th anniversary of the liberation of Jersey. During World War II, the Germans took over some of the Channel Islands, and Jersey was no different. And on the back of this note, you see engravings from banknotes that may have been emergency use on the island. Definitely drawings that appeared on earlier banknotes of Jersey. So it would be neat to own some of those other earlier notes. And as I get my house paid for, I want to start enjoying the look for some other banknotes. Let's move to Argentina, and we're going to be looking at 100 pesos that has the "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" lady on it. And This is Eva Perón, and this banknote here was an issued banknote, but the design of Eva with this wreath, and then the back of the note with this altar of peace, I think, here on this side, these all come from an earlier attempt to have a banknote, I think in the 50s or 60s. The banknote was never issued, but they created the design and they finally used it on this 100 pesos. We're going to look at the Thailand for the next note. And this is a bigger note. Let's see if I can't make this a little bit smaller so you can see all of it. It's a big note, and on this side you can see that it's 100 baht, and it comes from 2002, and it has the current king at the time, Bhumibol Adulyadej, who was Rama 9, and then it has one of the earlier Ramas next to him. And on the back of this note, you have a 100 tikal, which was the first banknote of Thailand. And you can see that not only was it the first banknote of Thailand, it was a serial number 1. So it was a special banknote of Thailand. And the final note I want to share with you is another banknote of the Ukraine. This Ukraine banknote is also 100 hryvnia, and it is for it celebrates 100 years since the Ukrainian Revolution of 1917 to 1921. This one's a little different color than the other note, and I believe it has a different design on the back. Let me just pull that for you. There you go. What do you think about banknotes that show earlier banknotes on them? I think it's kind of neat. I kind of would like to see more to the list. Please like and subscribe, and if you can add to the list, please do so. I am Benjamin. This is Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. Have a jewel of a day.